Welcome to another episode of Ballers Union. We got our point guard is on quarantine due to his celebration of the Lakers getting the first seed in the Western Conference.
Still.
And they made a shot.
And they made a game winner against a bunch of bench players. That was great. Great game for them. Well, back to our regular program. CP at shooting guard, Goldie at small forward, Giovanni at the four, and we already know who's the pain in the beast. Smash.
We still haven't found nobody off waivers yet.
Hey man, gotta ride this contract out.
It's the longest 10 days ever.
We need a signing trade or something.
Hey, I'll go to Detroit.
Hey, we'll treat you nice. It's gonna be cold though.
It's cold, but it's felt.
How's everybody's week been?
Oh man, it's been good on this side. No
I'm
complaint.
still here, so I'll keep figuring it out.
The job keeps saying another month, and hey, keep going. Just keep going till I retire. Just say another month till I retire.
Right. Okay.
It's gonna hurt when y'all got to go back to that brick and mortar.
Ooh,
Ooh, don't even
y'all gonna be
Man.
hurt.
Don't even put that in your mouth to say something like that, man. I already know that's gonna be terrible, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and start it off, and let's check out the WNBA standings. As you can see, number one in the East is Chicago Sky. And then you have, and then the other teams, you know, the West is like in the real NBA, the WNBA, the West is all where all the good teams are at. You got the Storms, Aces, Lynx, and Mercury, all above 500. And then other than that, and the Sparks, LA Sparks, can't forget the Sparks. And then other than that, the rest of the East teams are below 500, so the Sky's looking really nice for this playoffs.
The Wings have fallen, haven't they? It was just good last year, and now all of a sudden they're at the bottom of the barrel.
Hey,
What a difference a year makes.
Man.
no, they got rid of their star player because they didn't treat her right. Now she's with Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing good. Go
Mhm.
Phoenix. That's terrible.
They paying for that one.
Who's the management over there needs to be fired? They must be managed by Atlanta Falcons coaches. I mean GM.
Yeah, he done came in on it. Came in hot.
Gotta go for it. Man.
Not
Gotta
even 5 minutes in, we already shooting.
I know. I saw Breeze out there protesting the other day.
Hey,
Breeze wearing a kente cloth. I'm telling you, he can't wait for the season.
throw him $1. Throw the man a bone.
So talking about the NBA, since we're basically at the midway point, who do you guys got for MVP? So these are the three candidates, or these are Ballers Union three candidates, or the three women in the running for MVP this year. We have Diggins Smith, Wilson, and Vandersloot.
I got Wilson, man.
I'm going Vandersloot.
And
I got Diggins.
I'm gonna go with Wilson just for the simple fact, with Liz Cambridge being forced to stay in Australia due to COVID, Kelsey Plum tore ACL. They basically had written them off. So for her to be able to step up and put a good game together like she's doing, scoring 22 plus points a game, 8 rebounds, shoot over 50%. And mind you, this is a team that doesn't shoot the 3-point ball. So for them to be sitting at 5-2 and her leading the way, who was an afterthought at some point, she's coming back to her South Carolina form.
Hey, quick question. Who's the coach of that team?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. Do you know who the coach is?
I can't remember.
Me neither. Bad enough. Listen, bad enough. Well, I ain't gonna say bad enough. Gio has us watching these WNBA games, so I haven't got that far down a rabbit hole. Who's the coach of this team?
I was
For
just
the
playing. I'm gonna let
He
y'all
knows.
look it up.
He knows who it is. Go ahead and say it.
Oh, Bill Laimbeer, ain't it?
That's why they winning.
That's right. I forgot about it. It is Bill Laimbeer. Sure is.
So that's why I'm not surprised that she's playing like that. She got the coach that's teaching her the way.
Yeah, because she said she do Staley. Well, Dawn Staley do Staley. Dawn Staley she said she coached her rough And then it just translated over to Bill, and Bill treated her the same way. So she was like, I just went from one tough coach to another tough coach, but that helps her game out, she said. So
absolutely.
And it's producing. It's producing.
You can't be surprised with that though. So I think she's definitely balling, but we'll see how the Sky do with the rest of the season. But I like Vandersloot's game. I still like Stewie for Seattle though, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. Let's see, Dick Skylar Diggins Smith, Smash. I know that was your choice.
Yeah, man. I liked her ever since she was at Notre Dame playing ball and stuff. And now, I mean, she's on the team with Brittany Griner, Diana Taurasi. So, I mean, to me, that's just a three champions right there. I mean, I see them going. I see them taking it all, really.
That's an all-star team, man.
Yeah, that's the
basically
version of Big Three, huh?
Yeah. They must be hanging out with LeBron. Let me show you how you put your team together.
This is why Dallas ain't winning anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Wings were good. I mean, I remember the Wings being really dominant last year, and now
but they did her bogus. So
yeah. But the thing about the WNBA, nobody stays hot for very long. So even if you got a super team, so to speak, something happens. Either somebody gets hurt, somebody doesn't come back from overseas, somebody takes off leave. Even with the Lynx, Maya Moore got a better cause to do. So there's a lot more parity. So there's not so many dynasties that kind of run the table for so long. So you can see some different things happen from year to year.
Yeah. It's good, man. I mean, Gio has me watching this WNBA basketball, and I kind of was like, you know what? I don't like this under the rim game. But I tell you one thing, those girls make some shots, but they have some awkward jump shots. You got to admit that you see some awkward shooting women out there.
Yep.
Like, this is not going to fall and then splash. Like, dang.
Hey, you got to do what works.
Yeah, man.
If the ball go in, there's only so much talking about it you can do.
Right. Here's the real MVP of the league right here.
That's your pick?
That's CP's and Gio's pick as well. CP already talked about it. I know you like her game, but her playmaking ability just got everybody shooting at a high percentage. The Chicago Sky shooting high percentage threes, high percentage twos. They definitely need her on the court because when she's not handling the ball, whoever else handles the ball, they just get a whole bunch of turnovers. So Chicago Sky got a couple other players that need to get turnovers.
I hope they don't run her into the ground though.
Yeah.
But at least Gio, you should get to be a homer about something. So you got your pick. I understand. Now I'm putting two and two together. I was having a blind moment there for a second, but now I understand why you're going with Vandersloot. but the Aces got a better record, and she's Wilson.
Do they?
Yeah, a better record with 8 games. It's either 5-3 or 6-2. Or
she's 5-2. She's 5-2. They're 5-3, and they playing and he already admitted they're playing in the garbage conference.
So that's a half a game.
So that's they're playing in the garbage conference. After them, nobody has.
So that means you're going to the finals, and your team be lucky to make it to the finals. That's what you're trying to say.
Better competition over here.
Either way, they both gonna lose to Stewie though. So
they
got a hot.
We'll see.
Yeah, we gotta wait and see.
And my rookie of the year pick got injured, so
who was that?
Sabrina.
Oh
yeah, that was everybody's rookie of the year.
Yeah.
And the Liberty are trash without her too. Well, of course they was trash before. That's why they got her number one.
What you mean? All they're gonna do is put a diamond on top of the trash can. That's all they were gonna do.
Very true.
Right. All right, moving along. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there is a Black Athletic Director Alliance.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So they're committed to promoting growth and development and elevation of Black athletes administrations at the Division I level. Out of 347 Division I schools, there's only 55 ADs. What you guys thoughts on that?
I'm surprised it's that high, to be honest with you.
That's almost 16, 17%?
16% to be exact.
It is higher than what I thought it would be.
But you would think this is something that needs to be done, man, because you think about with 347, if they gave you a gun and shoot 347 times, you would think you had hit the target at least 40% of the time, right? 30% of the time, right? So this is less than a quarter of all the schools to have black administrators, and it's good. I mean, if it doesn't do nothing but bring awareness, continuously bring awareness to the lack of black administrators, this is good, man. I'm glad somebody has the cojones on that level to step up and buck the system a little bit.
Or the onions.
Onions, baby.
Right.
I'm wondering which I need to do my own research and homework on this, but out of those 55, how many of those are competitive? Like how many of those are top 25, top 30? What's who we dealing with? Because obviously we're not dealing, and if we're talking football, we're not dealing with,
let me tell
Alabama and Florida and all that.
That's what I was thinking too.
If this was the Ballas Union show, I mean, if this was the Talker Brothers show, bro, we don't like follow-up questions, bro. You know,
I put it on myself though. I said I need to do my own homework. So
that's your second follow-up question today.
And that's a good segue to our next. So that got it started, and Mike, what's his name? Loxley from Maryland. He started he's the founder and president of the National Coalition of Minority Football Coaches. And then their mission statement is to remove roadblocks to coaching opportunities for minorities through innovative programming, networking, and its first of a kind promotion strategy. I'm not too clear what that means, first of its kind. But I'm just excited that finally working together.
Yeah, I mean, with this, I mean, I look at that board of directors. I mean, he went as far as putting a board of directors together with Bill Polian, Chris Greer, Debbie Yo, Desiree Reed, Francois, Doug Williams, Mike Tomlin, Nick Saban.
How do you feel about Nick Saban being on the board?
If he can put butts in the seats and get some money flowing, then you need somebody like that.
You need a big name like that.
Well, one thing he said, Loxley said, was that he wanted his board to be comprised of people that have hired people for those higher level jobs. Mm-hmm. So it makes not like he hired somebody who never hired a black coach ever. So he wants to make sure that he has not only diversity in his board, but he want to make sure that they have at least hired for what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Only bad spot I see is Rick Smith, but I won't even go into that. So, but when you think about it, man, there's only 3 black head coaches in the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. Of all 32 teams, there's only 14 black head coaches in 130 college football programs. This stuff has to be done, man. This stuff, I really think that. When you look at it, you have to there should be, some kind of trainee program put in place where if you're not black, white, whatever your nationality is, whatever your race is, you have to, in order to be able to get this position, you have to go through this training, this training program so that it kind of gives everybody a fair shot at getting hired,
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but we just discussed that we have 55 ADs, but and only 14 black head coaches. That doesn't even add up. That's not even 50%.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wonder, do these even have any power to even hire the coaches they want to hire?
I guess that's the gray area of these what do they call innovative strategies. I mean, besides just going out and actually just pulling people and saying you hired, what's the strategy? What do we do? And if you do have a training program, like you said, Goldie, how long does that take? Is it a 5-year pipeline? Is it 2 years?
Hey man, I set up the headline. You got to fill in the bullet.
So did they.
It seemed like it's a college form of the Rooney Rule almost. Like a version of it.
The Rooney Rule is just a slap in the face. Don't get me started on that Rooney Rule.
That's just the checkbox.
Yeah, man.
because I don't see how this is gonna get them hired. I mean, I like the step that they're going in, starting this board and all that stuff, but how is it gonna get those coaches hired or people?
That's why we need to know the strategy.
You gotta work your way up. So I'm gonna bring another coach's resume. It's different sport, basketball, but I'm gonna bring up this coach's resume and just look at the grind this coach did, and look at the names of these teams. There's Canadian basketball leagues, they're G leagues, they're overseas, and look at this grind this person did to move up. You know what I'm saying?
But basketball is kind of, I don't know what is. Well, now I'm acting like CP now about to ask a follow-up question.
Be your own people. Right. Be your own people.
So I got a 2-part question for you guys. The first one is, do you see any black coaches put in the same amount of work just to get to that level?
Yeah, I mean, if you even look at it, I mean, how long did Patrick Ewing have to do? And he was already a big name and a person who played the game, and he couldn't get a coaching job.
Right, but
in the NBA.
Do you see going to the Canadian Basketball League or going overseas and coaching?
If he needed to, yeah. I think some people will. The thing that makes me a little hesitant to, I guess, endorse this program is I wonder if they're going to start poaching from the HBCUs that we're trying to get people to go to pull the black coaches out of there.
There are so many white coaches now in the HBCUs. They're even watering that hiring pool down. Mm-hmm. So, and we're doing that to our HBCUs. We're doing that to ourselves. So, I mean, at the end of the day, anything that's going to bring awareness that they're taking some type of action, like this is action. We always talk about take action. This is something that's action. Now, again, my stance on all this. Stop asking to be included and just go where you want it. HBCU wants you. So go where you want it. Stop asking to be included if they don't want to let you at the table.
And my second part of the question was for that, and that coach was Nick Nurse. And the second part of that question is, do you see black coaches getting that many opportunities to get a coaching job like he had?
It's kind of hard to say, man, because you think about, I mean, if you statistically look at from the pros to college to high school, I think the numbers would be kind of even with each other, I believe.
I don't know. I don't know, because the only thing I got to compare it to is not a good comparison right now, and that's Willie Taggart.
That's it. Go ahead.
It's just like I like Willie Taggart. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good coach. He was hired for the wrong. He wasn't the person for that job. It was too big for him when he came in there. Like he kind of jumped schools a little bit, going to Oregon and leaving the other school before Oregon. But he wasn't ready for a school like Florida State yet. He wasn't ready for everything that came with that. Like coaching wise, he might have been ready, but he wasn't ready on that level.
I don't agree with that.
Explain what he wasn't ready for the media, for the fans, or
for everything, man. Like it was really just to me, it was a fall guy job that they hired him for because they knew how much Jimbo had screwed up the program.
I agree. That's the point I agree with.
And they brought him in knowing that he wasn't ready just yet. Like he could coach it, but he's not a coach that can come in and fix that mess in the amount of time. Well, a lot of coaches wouldn't have been able to do it, but in that little time that they allotted him,
that's that dynamic. That's that either you the fixer or you the fall guy.
Right.
But that was his dream school, and like we're talking now, there's not many opportunities. And Willie Taggart is like an anomaly because you think about it, he went from Western Kentucky to South Florida to Oregon, then he went over to Florida State. So he's had opportunities like predominantly all these white coaches get rerun over and over and over. So for him, we know the black community like say, Willie, man, you just you crapped out on this one, bro. So we can't be mad that he got fired because he had a bunch of chances on that level.
And I'm not mad. I just think that like the black coaches don't get the chance. Like, what's old boy, the white coach that keep getting hired? He can get fired every year. Who?
Talking about Chip Kelly?
No, I can't. Kiffin. Lane Kiffin. It seemed like he get fired one year and hired the next. I'm like, wow. Like,
he got dirt on people, and that's my theory behind that.
Well, as much as I don't like Kiffin, he is an innovative offensive coordinator. He does have great play calling, and that's one thing that kind of the complexion of his skin doesn't hurt him either. But skill, I mean, as a coach, he's a really good coach. Now he's personality wise, he's kind of a butt, to say it loudly. But I understand why they're giving him a chance, but everybody else should get a chance as well. I mean, the thing about it is we have to get, in order to be a head coach, you have to be an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator at some point, right? And that's kind of what holds them back, because he always falls into those coordinator positions, which in turns, with Nick Saban, Nick Saban rehabilitated his profile for other teams to want to take a shot on him. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I'm just glad that these black coaches are putting their money where their mouth is and putting their efforts where their mouth is and trying to make action, cause action, change with action.
Right. And what do you guys want to see come out of this? Like, what do you see in the future? What would be the ideal situation? Would it be we finally accept it, or do we just start our own?
You know my stance on that. You know my stance. Stop asking to sit at the table and go where you want it, and that's the HBCU route. Take all those white guys out of these HBCUs and take those jobs. Yeah, the difference between a Division I and HBCU is an airplane versus a bus. But the list like you showed, that coach put a lot of grind in. If that's what it takes to get to where you want to be, sometimes you have to grind just a little bit longer and a little bit harder than others.
But I think, because I was thinking about this too, because have we ever, I know, and I'm asking this question, but I can answer for myself after, but have we ever had our own? Because even when I played Pop Warner, it was Pop Warner. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the black coaches came to the neighborhoods to recruit us, but the head coaches were normally white. And that's what I'm saying. Most everybody played Pop Warner. So how come we haven't had our own, even in Little League?
It's different in Texas, but I get your point.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm just speaking from my point. That's why I was like, I don't know if other places do have their own, because Texas is just football all year round. So
I won up you Smash. My Pop Warner coach was my uncle, so he was Puerto Rican. So
y'all was kicking the football around the field.
I'm not gonna lie, we won every other year.
Yeah,
he said every other year.
Every other year we won. That dude, man, let's tell you, being his nephew was not a good thing.
Right, you gotta work with everybody else, Jill.
You know what I'm saying? It was like he coached like Bob Knight, like Red Bryant. He was just mean. He was just mean, demanded perfection. But the system was easy to learn. It's just, but if you mess up your assignment, oh boy.
What position you played, Gio?
I played everything on defense, but now mostly I played nickelback or safety, depending on the situation.
Oh, so you was quick.
Tell him, Gio, you wasn't always that big, huh?
You was quick, all right.
Man, but yeah, I would hope that this would. I wish that we would just stop asking for handout. I mean, in society and it's in general, and just go for who wants you. You know what I'm saying? Start your own, and that's the biggest thing.
Right. CP,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree a lot with all of that. I think that we just need to go for it. There's only so much asking we can do, and there's only so much they're going to be willing to give. That's the other part.
Right.
Are we begging to get 10%? And are we going to call ourselves good then? Or do we need to maybe just go for what we can get and then see how marketable we are then, and then we can kind of raise our own price? Now, unfortunately, when we've done that before, we've sold that price and then we lose in the back end. But
and you got to remember too. Now we did this to ourselves. You got to remember we did this to ourselves because at one point in time, all these black athletes that we see that run on these PWI fields, they were all coming out of HBCUs. And then once they cracked that door open, they allowed those HBCU, they allowed those PWI to take these kids for nothing. You know, instead of them saying, include me, you want these kids, include us in the SEC, include us in the ACC. So we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. And the only way to remedy this is to bring it back to where it really originally started from. And we don't, because you don't need them. At this point in time, you can get marketing, you can get TV deals, you can get all this kind of stuff, man, without having to really jump through a lot of hurdles and hoops to get your product shown, you know. So just go play HBCU, man. I'm more than sure they'll make it right for them.
Okay. Moving along. Oh, the SEC put their schedule out.
Oh, this is such a laugher.
Oh man,
this is such a laugher.
So this is Smash and Goldie's conference or expertise.
Yeah, sort of, kind of.
So who's taking the West? Who's taking the East?
Missouri.
I just wanted to just bring attention to this Alabama schedule. They pull UK, and mind you, I'm an LSU fan through and through, and we pull a couple duds too, so I can't really be complaining. But Alabama got UK and Missouri. That is terrible. That is terrible. I wish you had the video. They could show the video of the parody when they showed that schedule. That would have been funny.
Right.
That's just how everybody felt. Like,
yeah. It's something had to be done, but I don't know mathematically how this would have changed, but they could have did better than this.
Right.
And it looked like Florida got a cupcake too.
Yeah.
Once they play LSU, that's looked like in that one they only.
And that was going. A&M may. Well, we know Smash will never give A&M any credit.
No,
because his favorite coach is there, Jimbo Fisher.
No, they get no credit, but they will get a little bit. They'll get more credit than them damn Gators.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Gators get no love.
Like the meme I saw. How do you spell Gators? Garbage. Gators.
It's terrible, but coming from a Florida State fan, right?
Yeah, right. All day, baby.
Well, I was going to put the Big Ten schedule out, but earlier today they canceled.
Don't do that.
And to follow suit, the Pac-12 canceled, and they got, out of the 14 black head coaches, they got 5 of them in the Pac-12. So that's another blow.
And we down to 9.
Damn, Gio.
We got single digits.
Digits.
I thought the Pac-10 came back and said that they're gonna do suspend it for a minute.
The Big Ten said they canceled and they were gonna suspend, they're gonna come back, but it was official today. They had meetings today. Big Ten is canceled for fall football. And then a few hours after that, the Pac-12 canceled.
Yeah. But the
Pac-12, they waited for the time zone,
because I think the Pac-12 somebody came back. I thought
the Pac-12 came back and said that they're going to actually look at it for spring. They're going to look at it for spring. But us Southerners, we're not going for that down here.
They feeling that pressure because of the president. Trump then told them that they should play football.
Well, everybody's saying spring, but that's just a placeholder. Just like, we were only supposed to be in quarantine for 2 weeks, and that's
right.
Man, they could easily not play football in September. I mean, we could have college and pros go deep.
Well, I got a solution. This is a great opportunity.
What's that?
The solution is these college kids, since they're not going to be eligible to play in the NFL.
I think I know what you're about to say.
And they can't play college football. and Dwayne Rock Johnson just bought the XFL. Hey, just go out.
I knew that's where you was about to go.
But I do.
How he gonna pay COVID bills if he can't?
He
pay the
can't pay
regular bills.
right, he can't pay that 50 million off. He's still old, right?
Right.
Hey, he'll figure it out. I'm telling you, because the other co-owner, she a money genius. So, Danny Garcia, she knows how to work money. So it's definitely not a bad investment if she signed her name on it.
But
True.
let me ask this question to you. Let me pose this question, you guys. How do you feel about these players? Like when all these conferences are canceling, and a lot of these players are having a big outcry about they want to play. Where do you guys stand on this? Are you for the guys playing, making their choices, and the presidents and allowing them to do what they want to do, or you want to say save them from themselves?
No, I'm all for it. First of all, these are adults. They're not kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're old enough to go to war. They're old enough to die for this country. So they're old enough to make their own decision. If they want to play, that's how dumb. Let them play.
Yeah, look at Uncle Gio with the answer. But I'm with you though. Like if they want to play, let them play. Like everybody's not gonna want to play. Like NFL, they got people opting out. But if you want to play, let them play. But being on the business side, if I'm that college, you're gonna sign this waiver saying you ain't holding us liable.
Right.
Because I think that's what the college is looking at. But I mean, we go back and look at it, and they say that the young people really don't get COVID, which we know they do, but a lot of them have it and they're asymptomatic, and they pass it on to the older people. But these are athletes that are in great shape, healthy. So if they have it, I would say 1 out of 10 would probably really be like out because of COVID. The rest won't even know they had it. They'll just think it's like, a little stomach bug or something.
Right. But are they in the bubble though? Or are they going around and giving it to people who can be more affected?
That's what I think they need to do. I think they need to get in a bubble because the way they came out with these schedules, they were just going to play. At first, it seemed like they were just going to play the conference games. Mm-hmm. So if you play in conference games only, there's no reason why y'all can't get in the bubble.
Right.
I mean, agreed. But now we're telling 19-year-olds in college.
Well, but you can't have it both ways. If you asking to play, then here's the guidelines. You got to follow the guidelines. Now you can't just be like, I want to play and I want to have it my way too, and run around infecting all these people with COVID because you don't want to sit down.
But nobody's saying they wouldn't be wrong. But if they still do it, that's still
then you shut it down.
My thing is, if the schools are open, then it shouldn't be a bubble.
That's true.
That's my.
That's true. Because the student body themselves will get them sick.
And see, I disagree with that because in football, it's always been different. Like we know that they're student athletes, but
students.
Yeah, so it's like, no, y'all getting in the bubble. This training facility ain't for them other students. We got the campus gym for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So put their ass in a bowl. But think about it though. If you pick a neutral place for the conference, whatever, going back to like Pop Warner or Little League football, really the games would be like a jamboree.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I would say go ahead, and since Atlanta is the headquarters, go ahead, play it in the Mercedes Dome. They stole our name. Because the Falcons ain't gonna win no games in there, so they might well put some teams in there that's gonna win.
Oh,
he won a few games in there.
He don't win tonight.
See,
he don't win tonight.
But I agree with you. Make it a central hub, and they doing online classes anyway, right? So buy out the hotels. That's where the football Hall of Fame is anyway. So just make it a big to do. I agree with you on that, man.
I mean, they could work it out. I think what's happening is, I think the athletic directors or whoever involved, the higher ups, NCAA is looking at it from a liability part. But you just had them jokers sign waivers, man.
No, I won't have them sign waivers because I'll be like one thing, and that's like the big problem with the NFL is like you got to take care of these players' health.
No, I agree with that.
I'm not gonna have them sign any waivers. I'll tell them like because we don't know the long lasting effects of COVID.
There we go.
So I'll give them some type of insurance saying, hey, if you play, you're doing me. It only benefits me if you play. It doesn't benefit you.
Doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? So if you play, you know what I'm saying, and you help, we'll have X amount of money aside to cover if something does happen, just in case something happens. Now, if nothing happens, then that money will go back to the school, let's say, within 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You put it in an escrow account and be like, hey, we put X money aside, you know what I'm saying, COVID relief fund or whatever.
Too much like right, Gio. You know they gotta pay them bills, bro.
But if it's on an escrow, like, you know, you put that money aside, you put it in an escrow account, and nothing happens, you get that money back. So it's an investment. They could look at it as an investment. If they really, because they're always going to preach, oh, nothing's going to happen, don't worry about it. Well, put your money where your mouth is.
It's going to be a lot of fine print on that getting your money back.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Really, right?
It's going to be a lot of fine print.
You got a hangnail. We don't cover hangnails.
Correct.
I mean, because then if you do that, you're going to have pretty much 90% of the college football players playing because they need money to send to their families or whatever. It's not like they got the pro contract, you know, like my boy Primetime said, hey, you ain't bigger than the game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah,
that's another one. That's another one, Smash. How do y'all feel about what Deion said?
He's right.
He's right. I think he was kind of taken out of context a little bit, but he was right in what he said. Like the game is gonna go on.
Yeah.
Right.
With or without you, you opting out. It's okay because you're gonna have that hungry player that's trying to make that team that probably would have got cut during regular season, but the one that's trying to make that team, they're gonna be like, oh, you want to play? Let's suit up.
Right.
Yeah. Shoot, we might be getting calls to go play.
Shoot.
The NFL did it before. That's how Sean Payton got it.
Listen, man.
What about the refs?
I'm holding the chains, man. I'm not getting out there.
If they get them replacement refs out there again.
Yeah, that was horrible though. That was horrible. But hey, everybody's replaceable.
Yeah,
everybody's replaceable. And football is $1 billion industry in America. And if they want to keep it going, they're gonna keep it going. They'll pick up, you know what I'm saying, whoever off the streets.
Football is the one sport that is kind of like the military. It's like the next man up. In the military, you go to war, somebody die, it's just next man up.
Listen, that's just society in general, man. I've seen at my job, a lady died and they had her job posted 2 weeks later. So it's like everybody and anything is replaceable, bro. You know,
yeah.
the seat hadn't got cold and they got to find the replacement, bro. So Deion is right, man. The game will go on, and as a fan, I want the game to go on. I want whoever's gonna take that chance. Because I'm always saying, just like with steroids, why are you finding these people for steroids? If they know the lifelong effects of steroids, let them take them. Let them take them. And if you decide that you don't want to play against these dudes on steroids, then next man up. I mean, so it's a personal preference. You know, if they want to play, let these kids play, man. And the because right now, normal citizens are getting sick with COVID. We don't know the long-term effects for them either. You know,
right.
So I could see your plan, Gio, where you were talking about the investment. I could see your plan if they did that and put that into CTE for the college people.
Okay.
You know, they doing it for the NFL, but I think a lot of these college guys play reckless and abandoned. I would say put that in CTE, but
you want to
they need some type of insurance, these college players, like you're saying. I do agree with that. So if COVID is a way to get that going, I agree with that because they do need some type of insurance. I'm not saying that they got to get paid, which I still think they should, but at least give these guys some type of insurance. I mean, enough to say, hey, you get hurt, we cover full tuition for you until you graduate or something like that. No, not to go beyond 6 years. We'll be trying to not graduate for 10 years or something like that. But
PhD and do your residency.
Before the Big Ten canceled the season, what's his name? Michael Pearson said he was going to opt out, the outstanding outside linebacker for Penn State. You know what I'm saying? He's basically should be a top 10 pick in a upcoming draft. And then that's when DM made those comments. I think he was making those comments towards him. But like somebody like that, if you were to opt out for your own safety, do you keep your scholarship? Do you just stay on campus, or
if you go into the draft, you ain't worried about that scholarship no more.
I mean,
and if you already got them $100 handshakes anyway, you ain't worried about it. That's when them Watt brothers didn't they sit out? Oh no, it was the Bosa brother. He did it, and then Clowney did it.
Yeah, but what if you're really scared of COVID? Let's say you play for the SEC, you're really scared of COVID, you want to opt out, but you ain't a Bosa.
Well, then you already had stuff to deal with anyway.
I mean, I think they should keep their scholarships. I'm not. That's a health thing. You know, I would say this. I would allow them to keep their scholarships, but I would also allow that team to replace that player with somebody else on scholarship. You know, so but
now that's 2 scholarships.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to. I mean, baseball just did it. I mean, baseball did the same thing. So the guys that were seniors, that was their last years, everybody got their year back. Everybody, when you were a freshman all the way up to seniors, you got your year back. And then what happened was some of the players that when the freshmen came in, because they said it was going to be a backlog of players, right? Because they got a second year. But when those freshmen came in, those seniors were like, you know, I'll just transfer to this school. I'll just transfer to that school. So it's going to be, you know, it's going to be natural attrition is going to happen because of it. But I mean, you can't penalize a kid for saying I want to opt out. But how are you going to reward them if you say I opt in? You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So since the NBA went in the bubble, has there been any COVID?
Oh, please.
I can't remember. That's what I meant.
Smash is so petty.
No, NBA
Smash is so petty, man. It's so petty.
I'm just saying because like I'm saying like the NFL and college.
I got to answer. The NBA is not going to tell you if anybody got COVID. What they're going to report is non-COVID sickness, like they did for the guy for the Magic, Evan Fournier.
Yeah.
So and then next thing you know, Terrence Ross is quarantined, but he never left the bubble. You know what I'm saying? So there's technically,
maybe he ordered Uber Eats like the other dude did.
Yeah.
No, what happened was there's 2 Magic players with COVID, and then they're just reporting it some other way.
Maybe they visit Donovan Mitchell's room.
Yeah.
Or maybe they got in one of the concierge services.
What if their test actually came back negative? It wasn't COVID.
Could be a false
positive.
I'm not going to show you with COVID.
Gio does not want to accept that the bubble is working. Gio don't want to accept that. He's almost quasi smashed with the conspiracy theories.
They're going to label it as non-COVID illness. Like, come on.
I mean, what's wrong with labeling it that?
How you get an illness in the bubble? The bubble is sterile. How did
you still can get sick.
I mean, dirty water has bubbles.
How? The bubble is sterile. You know what I'm saying?
People have allergies. They have asthma. I mean, whatever, man. Like
they got the best filtration system. They got
the common cold.
Yeah, we got sports back on TV. Salute Adam Silver.
Yeah, man. I mean, you think about baseball, your favorite pastime, they can't get nothing right. And then here's somebody.
There's only one team. There's only one team, the Cardinals. They should just be banned already.
And baseball.
I don't think the MLB is reporting all their COVID cases. See how I did that?
They probably can't. There's too many of them.
They stopped counting.
I'll tell you right now, the NFL, we're gonna port 0 as well too.
Nah, well, the NFL will try to do that, but everybody's gonna see through it, and they're just gonna be like,
we know the NFL, man. We love football so much that we're gonna overlook a whole lot of stuff, bro.
Oh yeah,
right.
We're gonna overlook a whole lot.
And you'll be like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah. You know,
they're gonna come out and say this is a COVID part 1, and we only test for COVID part 2. Well, he only got it light, so if it's light, you can still play for the first half.
Right. You injured or you hurt. If you're injured, you can play, but if you hurt, you can't play.
Right.
I just think that I would have put my teams in a bubble. I would have talked about how we could do that.
The Saints are doing it.
My teams are in the bubble, but they always are because they're terrible. So.
The Saints are doing a quasi. He's calling it. He's not calling it a bubble. He's calling it. He's saying sequestered. The team is sequestered. So they'll have like all their cooking staff. The same way it's kind of like the model the NBA is doing with the cooking staff. Yeah. Everybody that has to touch the team, they all are in hotels and they have this strict regimen that they have to follow, the strict guidelines they have to follow to keep the players healthy. And that just makes sense, man. We know how this is a social virus, so just cut the social aspect out and play ball.
Does Drew Brees get to bring his Black History coach in the bubble too?
No,
so he can keep up his work.
Hey man, I could take all of jokes about Drew Brees. It's like duck water off a duck's back at this because I agree with all of it. I agree with all of it, bro. He just better not throw no interceptions. That's what he better not do.
Moving along, we haven't been talking about this topic. We need to. It's a big part of sports. And I want
to baby.
Fell off on it.
The sweet science.
We start out with upcoming fights, boxing.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna be honest, there's only 2 fights I'm interested in.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Out of these headliners.
Which fights are you? Spencer and Garcia. We know why you like that one.
Yep, and Tyson and Roy Jones.
Why Spencer and Garcia? Why he like it?
Come on, man.
My countryman.
Countryman is on that list, bro. That's what ain't going like.
I didn't want to be racist,
but he don't.
Countryman.
But what you got against Benavidez? Benavidez is up first, one of the youngest middleweight title holders in history.
He probably gonna say he Mexican.
Yeah, that's what he gonna say.
Yeah, is he Puerto Rican?
See,
he's of Latin descent.
Yeah, but that's you can't say that. You can't do that. Puerto Rican, no.
Nah, but I'm looking forward to this Benavidez fight. The youngest middleweight title holder in boxing history. He has to fight this fight coming up, and then he has a mandatory. And this is funny how they make you have a mandatory fight when it's all rigged anyway, right? Smash. But once he does that, then he wants to fight. Now Benavidez wants to fight Canelo. He said once he defends this title, he wants to go up and fight Canelo. Kid got long reach, long arms. He's my favorite right now, man. He's my favorite boxer right now.
I'm gonna check him out just because he said he wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
That's this weekend, huh?
Yeah, this weekend.
That's Saturday. Yep.
I mean, other than that, Ramirez, Pasto, Charlo, the Charlo brothers. I'm always gonna root for them. They from Houston, so I'm always gonna root for them. They're brothers, so I'm gonna root for them. I'm gonna pull a Geo on that one. And Santa Cruz, check the Santa Cruz kid, man. It's junior lightweight title fight, man. That kid can really move, bro. That kid got real good hands, and it's gonna be a good fight, man.
See, I normally don't. I like middleweight and heavyweight, but I normally don't like the lightweight.
There's not a good heavyweight.
It's not a good heavyweight.
It's nobody out there right now.
You gotta get down in the lower ranks, man. The lower ranks is where it's at, bro. You're gonna get some good boxing.
Yeah, check out Spence Jr. He's the truth, man. I don't see anybody beating him. You know what I'm saying?
He's a problem.
Yeah, he's a problem. Hopefully Garcia could put up a good fight, but Spence Jr. is gonna win that.
I'm gonna have to hit up my Puerto Rican brethren. That when I say this dude covered boxing, like he has all the apps. He got like when we were deployed, this dude had old videos of boxing that he had downloaded just to watch. Like he's really into boxing. Like he loved boxing.
I love boxing, but I just I love boxing, man. I grew up watching boxing. My dad, all your uncles. It's always been a place. The what's it called MMA has taken its place now, but it's kind of hard for me to not give up and not watch the sweet science.
Right.
I love boxing too. I dislike MMA. But I love boxing.
But here's the thing, man.
Everybody's talking about they love boxing. How can we make boxing great again?
Oh,
that's easy.
Trump, huh?
Just allow head injuries.
Nah, Showtime had the answer. I think it was like 2009 through somewhere around that time, between 2009 and 2011. They had that the Super 6 World Boxing Classic. Do y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Where I gave Ward won it all. Where they had like a tournament format.
Oh, okay.
And it was successful, man. It was successful, but all the other weight classes didn't want to adopt it. But for those 2 years, for 2 or 3 years that it went on, man, that tournament format is definitely because if you go to a tournament format, it kind of take away because right now you're watching boxing and sometimes it's got a mandatory fight. Sometimes they fight because of a money issue. This dude here gets to fight and he's not really worth it, but because he's gonna be a punching bag for the contender. To cut off all the shadiness out of it, just go to a tournament format. That Super 6 World Boxing Classic was definitely the answer. They need to bring that back.
I think the answer is boxing don't have a superstar.
It
doesn't have that personality that's on all networks, that's on all TV. Like we could go back to like Ali. Muhammad Ali was always into something. He was always on the news, always in the papers. You know what I'm saying? On top of being a great fighter. Then we go from Ali you could say Sugar Ray. You know what I'm saying? He was a big personality. Mike Tyson was bigger than life.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And after Mike Tyson era, you had the De La Hoya run and the Camacho run. So the Mexican boxers, they brought in a lot of fans with their personality. And after that, you had the Money Team, Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He played the villain so well that anytime he fought, didn't matter who he fought, they just brought in numbers. Like he fought against a kid named Ortiz, knocked him out like, I don't know, the first 3 rounds or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that fight brought in so many views and only lasted like a round. But that's what boxing is missing because the best heavyweight doesn't have that personality in Wilder. He doesn't have that personality. Fury doesn't have that personality. He's on every network.
Well, actually, Fury is a clown. I mean, he's a clown, and I think if he would get more TV time and more endorsement stuff like that, you'll see his personality come out because he is a goofball, man. He's definitely a funny dude.
Fury is King Hippo.
That's where I was. That's where I was gonna say because what I think boxing is missing is the exposure because it comes on at odd times on ESPN. And then nowadays, a lot of people don't have your Showtimes, your HBO, because they're streaming everything, But if they do, I mean, it's simple. So if this is taken, we're gonna pull out this tape for legal things so we can get paid. But I think boxing needs to do like the like your Last Chance Use, your QB1 that they show on Netflix. That way you can follow this person from like see how they came up, learn their family, and you have a vested interest. When, like you were saying, when Floyd had those bouts at Canelo or anything, they had those HBO specials where you got to see them train. You got to see,
They still have that. The thing is nobody's following because they're not interested.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. If you do something like a QB1 or Last Chance U and put it out on Netflix, people are gonna watch it because there's nothing to watch. So they're going to follow this one. It could be 2 or 3 players because QB1 normally follows like 3 little high school quarterbacks that you never knew about, that you never cared about, but it's interesting. It's entertaining.
Right. I just want to take the politics out of it. One of the things that kills boxing is the politics of boxing. And then all the things that you guys are saying is definitely worth addressing, get more personality, more exposure. It just needs to be organized. You got the WBO, the IBF, you got the Circle K championship belt of the world. They got all these different belts. This unify one belt, winner take all, and give it as much exposure as it possibly can, and show it on TV more, man. Show more boxing. That's one thing about MMA. Every time you turn on the TV, there's some MMA on that TV. You can find some MMA to watch. and that's what boxing is lacking. It's like it's that model that they used to have. It just doesn't work anymore. Just highlight the highlight fights, and everybody's gonna be drawn to it. It's not like that anymore. So you gotta expose it. Let more people see it, and then people will draw back to boxing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you just gotta make it popular. If you T.I., Chance the Rapper, and the Rapper, they had that show on Netflix where they were picking singers or rappers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you take the same two that we gonna watch in November, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, let them be some judges of like, oh, I'm picking him. That's my guy, and go into that tournament type that Godee was talking about. Man, people gonna watch that because the people we talking about, Floyd, Mike, and Roy, are gonna bring in the people because they're entertaining. You can throw Antonio Tarver or whoever you want in there as well. They're gonna bring in the audience because we know those people. We grew up on those people, and now we get to see like they putting their money on this person, and then they into that tournament thing. Man, it's easy. Like I would approach Tyson and Roy with something like that versus them fighting. I mean, of course, we want to see them fighting, but at the same time, this is like your uncles at the party. They done had too much to drink about the fight.
Hey, but have you seen your Uncle Mike train? Good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mike,
man, I'm like, Roy, let me get that policy out on you, Roy.
Tyson just put a shark to sleep the other day.
Throw the damn towel.
He put who to sleep, man?
He put a shark to sleep. I don't know if y'all seen Shark Week. Look at CP. Hey, man,
he could be the shark. You know what he gonna do, Roy Jones?
Right.
Oh man, moving along. This is the last segment. 2K NBA 2K never released info for the game, but we got a whole bunch of leaks, and say 90 to 95% of the time around it, saying these leaks are pretty much true. So a couple of leaks for NBA 2K21 is your My Team progress and your VC, your virtual currency will carry over from the PS4 to the PS5 to the Xbox to Xbox, whatever Xbox calling himself nowadays.
To the Switch.
Yeah. To the Switch to the
Well, I hate to base your bubble, but the Switch is not getting the update.
Yeah. Don't quote me on the Switch. I'm not gonna say anything about the Switch. It's not part of the leaks. But your My Player progress and your My Player inventory, i.e., clothes and stuff like that, will not carry over to the next gen console.
Right.
And then another big leak, is allegedly you can have a woman My Player now. Now I don't know if you could go through the park and play in the park and break with your woman My Player, or is it just a story mode just for the WNBA side and you only could play like that?
That hadn't been confirmed yet, but that's on the table.
I'll play it.
They say it's in there, but they hadn't confirmed how it's going to be in there. So we could suspect that they're probably going to get. You can play a season. This gen, you can play a season with the WNBA players. So I just think they're just probably going to just expound on it and let you play it in my GM and my league maybe. I don't see why they should, man. I mean, I would be interested in creating me a woman player, a female player, and see how it works.
I'm definitely creating if they let me, a woman slasher, and I'm dunking on everybody and making a whole bunch of videos of dudes getting dunked on by a woman.
I'm making me a Brittany Griner.
But so you making a Brittany Griner?
No, I'm making me a Cheryl Miller.
But she's not gonna be able to. I guarantee they won't be able to get dunking.
That's where I see it. That's where I see like they're gonna allow it just so you can be like, look, you just got dunked on by a chick or whatever. But it's a lot of females that play 2K. Like my sister-in-law, she actually gets paid to play 2K. Like she be asking me she be trying to play me. I don't play her on 2K.
Right.
I'm not stupid. I tell her, look, I'm not stupid enough to put my sticks up and you beat me. No.
Right.
But I will talk shit to you.
When lose or draw.
I'm not gonna play her, but I'll talk shit. Oh, you can't beat me. Well, pick up the sticks. Nah, because I don't even want to waste your time.
Right.
But she be like, when I say she ball, like her weekend last weekend, she got some little thing where you can record. It's like a USB thing where you can just record your playing all day.
Yeah.
Her weekend. She said she was doing that all weekend.
Wow.
Like, and she literally did, like, because she posted everything. But women play all the time, man. Like, we be getting dunked on by women. They just be in the dude's body on 2K right now.
Yeah, we get dunked on by 10-year-olds too. So
yeah,
that's true too.
And they're calling you the N-word.
Right.
Now that's what make you mad when I find out. Man, take your little ass a bit.
So that I'm glad to see there's a lot of stuff that we know. No matter what 2K does, they're gonna find some way to piss us off. So I'm just worried. I'm not worried about what they're putting in the game. I'm more worried about what they're leaving out, and that's my biggest thing.
I think the only thing I hate about that is that if you put that effort into the player on PS4, you're saying it's not going to carry over to the 5, right? The VC.
Yeah.
No,
the VC will carry over.
Carry over. It's just your my player progress. So let's say
right.
you go in there and you become a sweaty, and you become a
what?
A sweaty.
Try
hard. Try hard.
Oh.
and you become an elite one. You know what I'm saying? And then the new console comes out, and you just wasted your elite one.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, but that's other things. I mean, there's so much to do on the PS4, and I kind of that pissed me off when they first said that. But then I thought about it, like, you know what? That means I can go play my team. I can go play with the women. You know, I can go play now games and learn the game. So when I do get on the PS5, then I'll be able to, you know, I have my dribble package down, I have my jump shot ready, and all that kind of stuff. So
no, I'm still playing my player because it takes us a while to figure it out every year.
Yeah, it took us from the beginning, from it dropped in October, late September, October, and the last 2 months we finally greening shots now on a consistent basis. It took us the whole cycle to find a jump shot.
I was about to say y'all helped me create my best player.
So I'm excited, man. This is that time of the year. Only thing that's missing is college football. But you know, you got the golf coming back. And Gio, you're gonna stop being disrespectful, man. You're gonna put that golf on the show notes next time, bro. We gotta talk about the golf. That's the first one to drop.
Let me know when y'all ready to talk about FIFA, the greatest online play ever.
That's true. He's not lying.
Never.
Just look at the resale value. FIFA, it stays up there just like Mario does.
They selling across the world, bro.
Why?
Their numbers are probably whose numbers are bigger? Probably. We need to look that up. Here I go with the follow-up question. I'm talking about I don't like him with the follow-up questions.
I got you.
But who's going to be higher, 2K or FIFA right now? Who's
so they don't play basketball overseas?
No. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said 2K, because that's a universal sport. FIFA's a universal sport. So who numbers are bigger at this point in time? Who sells more copies? I would think basketball will sell just a little bit better than FIFA.
I'd say FIFA.
FIFA by a landslide.
Just look
you think so?
Look at the resale value.
We're gonna leave that for next week.
Oh, we're gonna leave it on the table, Gio.
That's your homework.
Man, we want to argue right now, though, Gio.
No, we're gonna leave that next week. We're just gonna go straight into that's good ammunition. Straight into closing remarks.
A teaser for next week, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you come back.
So go ahead, Smash. Any closing remarks?
Man, I'm happy to be here, and I'm actually surprised because I got through a whole episode without having to talk about sorry ass Madden. So I'm good to go, man. It's been a good night. It's been nope, go D. It's been a good night. Don't even
don't ruin it.
He said it's my closing comments. So when I'm finished, but Madden, if y'all talk about Madden now, my part of the episode's over. So I didn't hear it.
For me, man, it's just a social, man. Like I'm excited about to see in football they're taking action with the black coaches and the black GMs, and I'm excited about that, man. Don't lose that steam, and that's what I'll say. And as far as COVID, man, the kids are going back to school. Make sure that you send your kids back to school for the right reasons. and it's more about their health than because the administration is not about your education. So make sure that you choose it wisely about if and when you send your kids back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. CP.
Well, we talked about mid-season grades and who's our MVPs, but make sure you give yourself a mid-season grade and treat yourself fairly because it's been a rough year. And whatever position you give yourself, see if you can improve it by the time it's over. So if you're the MVP, see if you can stay there. If you need to do better, see if you can get your own most improved. And just use that. And other than that, watch baseball before it goes away.
All right.
Oh, it's disappearing.
Oh, yeah. And I like to lead off. I would love to see these college athletes take advantage of the situation of these cancel, like the Big Ten, Pac-12 canceling, and shift over to the XFL. You know what I'm saying? And just basically we start our own league and build from there. Let's see what happens.
So no degree, just go to XFL. Don't focus on books.
No, players don't care about degrees.
So why should we, huh?
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna be honest. I got a degree for no reason. I don't even use it.
You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah. And I think if you do care about a degree, then because I agree with you saying with the XFL, then they could take online classes.
Right. Yeah. This is the best time. For everything that for what cause you should be like CP was saying, use it to your advantage. Better yourself. If you're the MVP. Try to be the world MVP. Just keep bettering yourself. Don't just sit stagnant.
Yep. On that, guys, we're out.